The history of the story Shepherds begins in Derry in Northern Ireland. Perhaps you're familiar with the show Derry Girls. Something much deeper than I ever expected to find really touched my heart there. I attended a workshop presented by individuals who had been impacted by conflict there, a conflict that somewhat dismissively is called the Troubles, as though it troubled somebody else and didn't wound thousands of psyches. So we call it a conflict. I attended this workshop with Anne Walker, who had been a quartermaster for the Irish Republican activists, Robin Young, who was a member of the Ulster Police Force in Northern Ireland. James Greer was a paramilitary and unofficial soldier fighting on the Loyalist side. Lee Lavis, who had enlisted in the British Army and was stationed in Belfast as something that the British military crown called peacekeeper. These were all opposing sides back before the peace accord in 1995. Right now on PBS, there's a series showing called Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland. And that series shows just how horrible, nightmarish, impossible, traumatic that era was between the 1960s until 1995. I live in the United States. I have been watching the escalation of conflict and trauma over the last nearly a decade now, maybe even longer, right? It seems that in the last few years it's become like a tinderbox, and our minds are kind of turning into matches, where when another thought gets close to us, we inflame, right? We worry that, oh, this person's going to say something that's going to make me angry, or this person's going to say something from a system of ideas that I absolutely abhor. We're looking for that all the time. We're looking for, is this person good? Is this person bad? Is this person aware? Is this person not aware? When I heard the group at Derry Playhouse tell their stories, I saw myself in them. I saw my own potential to become a part of a group opposing another group. I saw myself as somebody who is very angry a lot of the time at the words that are getting said and ideas that are being moved forward. There are definitely things going on in our society that I wish weren't. However, I'm also aware of how dangerous it is for me and for everybody to be this fired up all the time. It seems our humanity has become wrapped around something very, very tightly. And I feel that we're losing our sense of community, our sense of trust, our sense of hope, our sense of safety. When I heard the peace builders, as they called themselves, at the Derry Playhouse, I saw the other side of all of this. I saw where this leads. Where does all this anger go? What does it turn into? And very, very clearly it turns into war. We might not call it that. Conflict. It is conflict already, and very, very bad things are happening. We just aren't calling it a war yet. And I wondered, what is it that these people have done to get to this place? I'll expand on that. If they'd met 30 years ago, seen each other, they wouldn't have met in pleasant circumstances. They would have met with gunfire. They would have met with terror and unspeakable violence. And now they all hug and they travel around the world together, telling their stories of how they overcame and healed all that violence.